All right, guys, welcome back to the Imaxit platform. If you're new, make sure to consider liking, sharing, and definitely subscribing. And if you are a member of the platform, bless up to you, lads. And how to become a member, please do click the join button. YouTube will guide you along the process. So, as you saw by the title, what's stopping youths from coming to Jamaica to play football and really make Jamaica as great as possible in the Concacaf? Is it the Pica slowing down the process? Because that's something that we have seen in the news from the other day, and people posed it to me, and I have said that it is not that in its entirety, because that is like the final phase. So I wanted to go through the three other phases before Pica even come close. All right. Yes, but I'm not saying that Pica is not a part of the problem, but I'm saying that we have so much problems that it's almost impossible for a lot of players to play for Jamaica. So maybe at the end of this video, you might give the JFF more credit, or you might take away more credit from the JFF, or blame some coaches, or just say that, okay, we just need to find a structural plan. Yes, I think those are going to be the range of questions coming in the comment section. But definitely drop yours. All right, so where I'm going to start first, I've compiled data from the last 40 years. People speaking on how they think how good Jamaica could be. All right, and what they think is needed. All right, yes. So over the last 40 years, I think, based on what I've assessed, I do believe that it's the lack of identity Jamaica had a big challenge with. Definitely within the first 20 years out of the 40, we had a bigger problem with that lacking identity. What am I talking about? Each JFF fraction that comes in believes that it's either a full local team themselves coming to this conclusion, or it's a full overseas, or it's a mixture. It has never been the best players and one Jamaica. It has never been the best players and one Jamaica. So if everyone is local, they should be selected, or everyone is overseas, they should be selected. That's where the best would have compiled from. But that has never been the case. All right. And you notice, notice of what I've said, the JFF, not necessarily the coaches. All right. And up until this point, we have still heard JFF members came out and stated that coaches did certain things from 2016, and no other coaches can come in and do such thing. What Schaefer's did was try to get the best players and got the best result for Jamaica, maybe for the longest while. But they thought that they never got enough help via the local side. So that is a problem. So now it pushed away actual football relations and how you want a coach to operate in its entirety. So not his job. He needs to do something aside from the job assigned from making the country qualifies. He has to go in and make a footballing structure designed for a particular party. All right, are one of the fractions. So we had three fractions that we just discussed it, and they wanted to forced each coaches to focus on something and give them something that they can't produce themselves. So that in itself forced a coach to not get access to data of who is available. Hence why it's going to be more difficult for those individuals to come in, then weed out the problems, try to find a solution, and then go out there and make contact. All right? And that's what you saw we had with Algrimson, we had with Paul Hall, we had with Whitmore, and now we are having with McLaren. Because at one point, McLaren stated that players from under 23s that's playing in England and other places wants to choose those countries first that they were born in. And that was not necessarily the truth, because you had a plethora of individuals actually came out and stated that they wanted to play, and they were 18, 17, and also 20, and they are in good positions in those countries that could easily propel them to a position of making a team in those countries. You clearly saw even our boy that we talked about a lot, which is Hutchinson, pushed himself to the U21s. And some of them were actually playing in the lower leagues, like the U18s for England, U20s before. And even in our current squad, a lot of them made all teams for England, included even the national team, which you could say Mikel Antonio did made, and he got injured. But he wanted to play for Jamaica before and never got through. So you saw the difficulties way before Pica. So we have a problem inside the JFF for the years where everyone is not on the same plane, right? So some wants all locals, some wants a mixture, and nobody wants the best players, regardless where they're from. Because I think that they have a problem to the last Gensek had said that if they have to make it this way. That's a perfect statement from that Gensek. I thought he was very honest when he said, if you're going to look at quality only, it's going to be everybody coming from overseas. And we cannot let that happen, because we have to sell hope to the locals that they can make a team. That is not a true statement in its entirety, because Leon Bailey, Damian Lowe, Blake, they are all born in Jamaica, and they would have made the squad regardless of who we actually selected. You understand me? But I think he's going extreme to say that we need to always leave an avenue for a local playing player to believe that he can make the team, and not necessarily a local born player right there. And I think that that is more of a problem for Jamaica's finding and selecting players. And that's why it took so long, because this current coach came in, thought that none of these young players wanted to play for Jamaica. They wanted to play after believing that they can't make England, and now his mind is actually changing because he got the facts, and the facts is not lining up to what he thought. And I thought that that is more of the problem when it comes on to players representing Jamaica, and why it took so long, and why sometimes it doesn't happen at all. All right, so I hope this brings a lot of clarity towards why players took so long to play for Jamaica, and why it's extremely tough for Jamaica to have a string of success in football. And I truly believe that it comes down to the lacking of identity. For the 40 years that I have checked, I don't know if it expanded beyond that, which I do believe that it would have expanded beyond that. But because of rules that changed over the years, I've never reached back beyond the 40 years to see before the 40 years who was eligible, because all of those things were important. All right, yes. But even with that said, we could have extended the conversation, because we had John Barnes and those guys that would have been eligible regardless of whatever situation it would have been. All right, so guys, let me know your thoughts in the comment section. But what my conclusion is, Pica is not the problem. The problem is Jamaica Football Federation lacks a pathway or a identity overall on what they want to do and how to do it. Let me know in the comment section. Challenge me all you want. I would love that, but because I took a long time to get all of that information to put it in this shorter video format. I might do pack it into a live stream so people could get the information, because I think it's very much important as to how we do see things. Smash a like button, share, and definitely subscribe. Bye bye.